Okay, back on trail. So, as luck would have it this morning, I got up a little late, crammed in all my hiker chores possible. I had left a message on Facebook last night to see if I could get a ride back up here this afternoon. Unfortunately, the only trail angel that was coming up was leaving at 7 o'clock this morning, and I still had way too much stuff to do to be able to catch that. So, my plan is to try to figure out how to thumb out of the town of Quincy. So, like I said, got up, did my hiker chores. Part of those hiker chores was going over to the laundromat. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out how the hell to get out of town and even where I was at in town because I was a little lost even how to get back up to the trailhead. Started talking to the lady that was sitting across from me, and lo and behold, she works up at the campground here at Buck Lake. And she said, "Hey, if you don't mind hanging around till I'm done with laundry, I'll give you a ride up." How about that? Rides just fell in my lap. I'm gonna go back. I don't think I shared this yesterday, but and again, if I did, I'm just gonna recap. When I got off trail, there was a young man sitting here at the end of the trail. His name was Noodle. He'd been sitting here waiting for a ride. He'd been sitting here waiting. He said I hadn't seen a car in about 20-25 minutes. I go, man, well, that sucks. We're going to be here for a second. About that time, a car came around. I threw out my thumb, and we caught that first ride into town. They brought me straight down to Safeway, where they were going to go grocery shopping. So I did my resupply right there at the Safeway as soon as I got off trail. I'm sitting in the line with the cashier, and I'm asking the cashier, I go, hey, is there a bus around here? Because I had to get to my motel, which I didn't even really know where it was at the time. I thought it was actually the other direction. The cashier's like, I don't know if there is or not. And the lady behind me, she goes, well, where are you going? I go, I'm going to the Ranchito Motel. And she goes, well, I'll give you a ride. So again, ride just fell on my lap. Just like it did today at the laundromat. So things have worked out really well. I just got dropped off probably about 45 minutes ago. Visited with a guy by the name of Gabriel who was getting ready to go into town. Then I walked up the trailhead, and there's a couple hikers sitting here getting ready to get on trail. Matter of fact, they just left, and one of them was Noodle again, the guy I just rode into town with last night. So sat here and chatted with him for 20 minutes. So I'm doing a lot of chatting and not enough hiking, just like I'm doing with you guys right now. So it was 104 degrees in town. It's significantly cooler than that here up on the top of the mountain in the shade, but it is still warm. I'm going to guess it's probably mid-80s. Again, without looking at any thermostat, I'm going to tell you that it's not cold, but it's not 104 degrees either. So getting ready to go through a burnout section into Chester. It's about a 3-day hike. The cool thing about that is the halfway markers there somewhere. So got a big climb here. I'm going to let you guys go and hit trail, and we will see you on trail. Thought I'd share with you, I've gone maybe 4/10 of a mile. I'm hot. I'm ready to go back to town. It's a warm one. Trying to spend as much time as I can in the shade. It's 3:30, so temperatures hopefully start dropping here in the next hour. But cold cerveza, down. 4/10 of a mile back this way in a hitch. See you on trail. So the trail's doing its thing again, and I don't know why I always act so surprised about this, but it's just cool for whatever reason. I hiked up 9/10 of the mile to the first water source. By the way, I drank 1 liter of water in that first mile. As I'm filling up my water, along comes 2 other hikers, and I start visiting with them for a few minutes. But the one guy kind of looks familiar to me, but we all hikers look the same. I mean, we all got that hiker look. So I introduced myself as Sandman, and the one guy goes, I think I've met you. And I'm like, dude, it's funny because I was looking at you thinking that I met you too. I go, what's your name? He goes, hey, I'm Sandstorm. And you guys have been following this channel, and I think I mentioned this. Back in Kennedy Meadows South, some 600 miles ago, I helped him take the tips off of his trekking pole. Showed him how to do that. I go, dude, we started laughing. I started telling him the story about how I broke my tip on my trekking pole up on Whitney, and the first thing I did, and this is serious, after I cussed, I instantly thought of that guy and the way his tip broke, and it was the exact same way that mine broke on my black diamond. So Anyway, I just thought it was cool. Once again, here I am, 600 miles up, haven't seen this dude in, shoot, 5-6 weeks. I don't even remember how long it took me to get here. And here he is. So it was cool visiting with him and the other guy that he was hiking with who I hadn't met. His name is Tupac. So they took off. They're probably about 5 minutes ahead of me. I finished camoing up. I got about a 6.9 miles to the next water source, which is fine, but I only have 2-liter bottles. I inadvertently threw away my Gatorade bottle this morning. I remember throwing it away. I don't know what I was thinking. It was a brain fart on my part. I love that little Gatorade bottle. It's where I mix up my electrolytes in that, and then if I have any sort of protein powder or what's the little instant breakfast things, I'll throw in there as a shake. But so shit, I'll just have to pick up another one when I'm in Chester, but that's 3 days away. So in between, we're gonna improvise, and I guess that's okay. So see y'all on trail. So I was getting ready for bed, and I was actually filming the sunset. And I walked over, heading back to my tent, and we call these trees, and I know you guys know this nomenclature, but we call these trees widowmakers, right? And they're burnt up, they're dead. And tonight, I saw a widowmaker doing its business, because that tree right there that I'm looking at as I'm walking back to my tent, which is several yards away from that tree, by the way, I'm in the clearing. I watched a big old branch fall off of the top of that thing and fall all the way down. Wow! Gotta watch yourself in these woods. The mountains, the hills have eyes.